guys, back at Port Sorell, early morning sail, low tide. Gonna try the 67 with the 7/8 and the 36 chopper again, and I think I'll play around with the mast track position. So dead center at the moment. I'll do a few runs, move it forward, see how it feels, move it back, see how it feels. Just looking at the mast track position, pretty much dead center. Got the whistle going again. Board riding up a bit then. Center, board feels good, nose sitting well. There. Really quite deep. Coming in to change the mast base. Did have it dead center, felt really good. That is where I'd normally have it, maybe a tad back from dead center normally. I'm going to put it forward. So I'm going to put it touching, I'll put it right forward just so I can just see where it is. So full 3 plus at the back. Do a quick walk so I know on the GPS that I've changed a setting. Nothing else changed. Boom's gonna feel lower, but I won't change anything. I'm just playing around with the mast base. Way less difference than I thought there might be. Feel 32.4, 32.4. So felt alright. Controlled, a bit more sedate, maybe. Harder to bear off. I definitely thought there'd be more difference. Riding up a bit then. 33.9, 33.9. Okay, well that's, I think, my quickest run. So I'd say not really losing any speed at this point. Trying for that slingshot. Okay, one more run on this setting. It is getting a bit windier. There's less tail fin steering. I think normally I'd be a bit higher and I'd be able to bear off downwind easier. I might change the settings here. Right, so now I'm going to put it back as far as I had it forward, basically. Just touching all three of those. Okay, all three in front, just turning the back ones. Right, boom feels higher, not too bad, I'll leave it as it is. That's quite windy now. Riding the nose very high. Three really fast runs. Definitely flightier. Very much so on the edge feeling. So 36.2 then. I think I've just had basically 35 plus knot runs every time with the mast straight back. Sail very cool. Lifted up then, not too badly, but just think I'd want it. Given all of that, I think normally I'd be centre. I'm going to put it, but it's just a little bit behind where I normally have it, and a lot further forward than before. Let's see. Good bit of wind up ahead. I'll get in behind the bank. Try to. It's going to be quite windy. Really bearing off deep. Downwind virtually. Going for it. .8. I just feel if you got hit by a stronger gust doing that, I could lose it or chop. Whereas weed speed, I would just have more confidence. Okay, back in off the water. That was really good fun, very interesting. Started with the mast track in the middle, moved it to the front, then moved it to the back. Moved it back to the middle, just slightly back from centre. It was all pretty much how I thought it might be. Bit sluggish when it was at the front, bit flighty when it was at the back. I did have a tail walk when I had it at the back. Finished up with it, as I said, sort of just slightly back of centre. I'd had the 7/8 very powerful without much outhaul for the whole session. Just sort of put a bit more outhaul on at the end, and I think that might have been better when I had the mast straight back. I just probably had everything at full power when I had that mast straight back in some of those gusts. So all in all, really good. I think in lighter winds with that combination, I'd have the mast straight back further to get more lift. As it gets windy, I'd move it back to no further forward than centre. Interestingly, I think what I'm wanting to test next is putting the weed speed 33 in this board. So I normally put the 31 in my old 67 and this 67, but it's a lot wider tail. So I think I need the 33 tribal weed speed and then play around with the mast track position again. So I think I need to have it further back when I'm using the weed speed than I have been. I think I've been killing a bit of that power by having the mast track in the centre. I think I need to pull it back. So I'll try that. I also want to just sort of optimise light wind sailing with the 67 and the 7/8. That's the combination I want to be using. I don't want to go down to the 7 with the 67 unless it's really gusty and I need the float from this board. I want to use the 7 on the 63 and the 7/8 on the 67. So I'm just really focused on optimising, getting maximum speed for the conditions out of the 7/8 and the 67. Okay, have a look at the data. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at the data. Put it all up on the one screen so you can see the runs. Here I had it central, here I had it in the front position, here I had it in the back position. So we did 6 runs here in central, 33.8 knots, and half pipe by 10 of 29.
so not that great. Front position, I actually got top speed of 34 knots and a 5x10 of 31, and I did 7 knots, 7 runs, sorry, there. And in the back position, did 5 runs, 4 good ones, all very consistent, and I got 36.2 for my top speed. Had, what do we have, 3 more 35 knot runs after that, and 32.89 for my 5x10. So the wind had picked up by the time I went to moving it to the front position. So I had quite a bit of wind there, and certainly felt that. I think if anything it was still getting a bit windy when I moved it to the back position. I did continue sailing though, and did another 20 runs here just with it in the central position. So when I look at that, these obviously haven't changed, but I'm now at 36.6, so slightly above what my quickest run was when it was back, and a faster 5x10, but a lot of runs there. I'm surprised that there wasn't more difference in moving the track around, but it was certainly noticeable that when I had it in the front position, I think I had quite a bit of wind there, and I was pushing it, and it wasn't riding up on the fin as much. It was more controllable, didn't feel as quick. As soon as I went to the back of the track, it literally, that first run was 36.223, the first one, and then I just had 4 runs in a row. I had the 7/8 very full, and had a lot of power, so it felt very much on the edge. Moving it then back to the centre, just ever so slightly back of centre, but still in the central position. Didn't get as fast runs straight away, but I ended up still with 2 36 knot runs and a 35, so a lot of runs there. It was very interesting. I think 2 things come out of this. I think if the wind's a bit lighter, I need to move the base back to get more power, whereas I was probably on the edge here. And I think I'm keen to try the tribal weed speed again and move it back further and go from the 31 that I normally use to the 33, and do this again, but just moving the mast track around. But I think the 33 tribal weed speed with the mast track further back is what will allow me to push this top speed up if it's windy and I'm powered up. I should make a mention that with all these tests that I am doing, I'm really looking at how to optimize the top speed for the different bits of kit. So at the moment I want to be using the 67 with the 7/8. If it's windier, I'll go down to the 63 if I need to use the 7. So it's really about 7/8 on the 67. What can I do to get the best speed for the conditions with that kit if I'm on that kit? So it's probably going to be blowing up to 20 knots, be very flat, and I'll be on the 7/8. So can I get better speed with the 36 chopper? Could I go down to a 34 chopper, or will I get more better speed with that tribal weed speed, which I traditionally would have been using? So with that in mind, I'll keep doing these trials.